This new letter that headlines today has been able to access raises serious questions about how Shakuntala Gamlin went from being acceptable to corrupt within 48 hours. Joining us now from the Aam Aadmi Party is Ashish Khetan. Omesh Saigal is a former Chief Secretary of Delhi. He's joining us on this broadcast as well. Ashish, I want to put to you first this letter that headlines today has been able to access, which was sent by Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia to Lieutenant Governor Najib Jung. In this letter, Manish Sisodia says that we may choose between Ms. Gamlin and Mr. Parimal Rai. Now, Ms. Gamlin is Manish Sisodia's first choice. In this letter written on the 13th of May, he suggests Parimal Rai instead. Now, Parimal Rai dropped out. The Lieutenant Governor says he had no choice. He had to pick Shakuntala Gamlin. Given the fact that the Deputy Chief Minister is on record making this kind of a suggestion to the Lieutenant Governor, why is the Aam Aadmi Party making such a big deal about what the Lieutenant Governor has done, Ashish?
I think, Rahul, you have to look at the entire conspectus of the chain of events, not one letter, not one fact in isolation. Look at the whole event, the whole matter in its entirety. And if you look at the entire matter, you will find that Lieutenant Governor has asserted that he has the final right, the ultimate
Ashish, I want to stick to specifics. I don't want to get carried away in rhetoric. I'm asking you a direct question. Here is a letter. No, Ashish, I want you to answer my straight question. A letter written by Deputy Chief Minister on the 13th says that pick between Gamlin and Parimal Rai.
Directions directly to the bureaucrats. And he has upturned the concept of constitutional democracy, parliamentary democracy. If LG is going to bypass the office of the Chief Minister and issue orders and directions directly to secretaries in contravention of the direction of the Chief Minister, then that is going to jeopardize.
Ashish, I will deal with the broad specifics in just a moment. Ashish, hear me. Ashish, hear me. I will not allow you to go on like this. Hear me, Ashish. Answer my question. Ashish, hear me. Please answer my question. I'm on a specific matter here. I will discuss the larger perspective as well in just a moment. I'm asking you about a letter written by Manish Sisodia where he says in the end, we may choose from amongst Ms. Gamlin and Parimal Rai. He's given two names. He also suggests Parimal Rai. Parimal Rai tells the Lieutenant Governor he's not interested, he's too junior. He backs out. The Lieutenant Governor picks Ms. Gamlin. Now, if she was okay to your Deputy Chief Minister on the 13th of May, how did she suddenly become corrupt on the 15th? Just answer this question, Ashish.
See, if you want to, okay, listen first of all. To loosely use words like corrupt or non-corrupt is, I think, a matter of inference which has been drawn by the media in a very irresponsible manner. Now, when you choose officers, when you pick officers of your choice, it's a matter of opinion. That's subjective. It's not your pressing prosecution in a court of law for which you need to have evidence beyond reasonable doubt. It's a matter of opinion, and as a matter of opinion, the government said we have the choice. We may choose between A or B, and the government can always change its opinion. The government can always say that we have, in our wisdom, chosen B over A for certain things, for certain reasons which are recorded on the file. Now, these are not matters of evidentiary value. When you collect evidence, when you prosecute a certain officer, then obviously an entirely different machinery, turns into motion. This is not the case of proving charges of corruption against Officer A, for God's sake. Please understand that the government, when it chooses officers, it is not proving charges of corruption or recording charges of corruption against officers who have not been chosen. That's not the case here.
No,
I'm sorry.
You allude to her nexus with power companies. You suggest that someone who's acting on the behest of power companies, what you're saying really is something you ought to be saying to your boss Arvind Kejriwal, because in the insinuation that he makes it abundantly clear that he thinks that Ms. Gamlin is ineligible to be Chief Secretary of Delhi because she has a nexus with power companies. It's your Chief Minister, Ashish, who suggests that there is a collusion, that there is a nexus, and now you come here and say we mustn't tar the reputation of our bureaucrats. It's your Chief Minister who's done exactly that, Ashish.
Listen, Rahul, just cool down and listen to what I just said right now, and just analyze it in a very calm and composed manner without sensationalizing the whole matter. What I said, when you record when you record opinion that you don't want to appoint certain officer on reasons of suspicion, on certain other reasons, it is not that you are proving the guilt of that officer in a court of law. When you are proving the guilt of an officer in a court of law, then I said, then entirely different mechanism.
Yes, but it's perfectly okay to go public, to cast aspersions on her character, to raise questions on her integrity. That's all right for the Chief Minister. At a time when just 48 hours before that, the Deputy Chief Minister had gone on record to say that Ms. Gamlin was okay. All right, Ashish Khetan.
To proving charges of corruption.
Yeah, and you can cast aspersions on her character. That's all right. You can cast questions on her integrity. That's all right. Okay, Ashish, you've had your opening comments. I want to bring in Omesh Saigal as well.
Having a doubtful character.
Allow me to bring in
of the government.
Ashish. Allow me to. Ashish, just one second. Turn that fader down. I want to go across to Omesh Saigal, former Chief Secretary of Delhi. Mr. Saigal, most people who are looking at this very ugly tiff between the Lieutenant Governor and the Chief Minister will say it is Arvind Kejriwal's right to work with whomever he wants. If he wanted you as Chief Secretary, he could have had you. If he wants somebody else as Chief Secretary, he can have him. It's his mandate. Now suddenly you have a puppet of the central government ordering bureaucrats around. That is not okay. There are several things that Kejriwal has done wrong, but Najib Jung is not covering himself in glory either. It's Kejriwal's government. He's got 67 seats. Whoever he wants as his principal secretary, his chief secretary, shouldn't the Lieutenant Governor be giving him that person, Mr. Saigal?
Well, I don't really know whether it is only an issue between the Chief Minister and the Lieutenant Governor. The appointment of officers is a very key issue which has been decided by the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court has said there should be a staff selection board for every state and union territory, and the staff should be composed entirely of civil servants. Now, if that was the case, that if politicized, we have to politicize all civil service appointments, then why would the Supreme Court pass an order? You leave it to the individual whim and discretion of any Chief Minister anywhere in the country. Now, unfortunately, that is not so.
Mr. Saigal, you are giving a very sarkari response to a very straight question. Is it not true? One second, hear my question, sir. Sir, hear my question. Is it not true that the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, the Chief Minister of every other Indian state can appoint whoever he so wants as his Chief Secretary and Principal Secretary? Why should the Lieutenant Governor deny Arvind Kejriwal his choice of Chief? If he doesn't succeed, if he fails to govern, the people of India, the people of Delhi will boot him out. Why make his life difficult, sir?
Well, if you put it that way, I say yes. Okay, theoretically yes. He should have the power to appoint anybody he likes. Then why restrict it to the IAS? Why restrict it to a particular cadre? Why not just open up the gamut, and like the US system, the president can pick up his advisors from anywhere in the USA. Now the point is, we have a system here, but whether you like it or not, we have a constitutional position here, Article 311, and there are many other articles, 308, 9, 10, which secure the continuity and independence of the civil service. If you leave it to the whims and fancies of individual ministers, I am now making a philosophical point, let me do so. If you leave it to the whims and fancies of individual ministers, the officers will be treated like footballs.
I thought this was a new, more mature avatar of Arvind Kejriwal, where he understood where things stood and would try and work within the system. The moment you do what you do, you've paralyzed the bureaucracy. 20 bureaucrats have asked for posting orders out of Delhi. Those who are being approached from outside Delhi do not want to come to Delhi. The bureaucracy will not function. You cannot govern in this fashion, Ashish. Is Arvind's immaturity coming through again?
First of all, yeah, right. Listen to me now. First of all, you should have made a full disclosure about Mr. Saigal's antecedents. He has just lodged a complaint against Arvind Kejriwal's daughter, and he has just displayed his deep malice against Aam Aadmi Party by making some baseless allegations that Aam Aadmi Party volunteers are drawing salary, they are having access to confidential information and so on. That's not the point of the debate. You cannot make baseless allegations and get away with it. So I deeply condemn, I condemn the baseless allegations, insinuations of a man who has got a deep malice against Aam Aadmi Party. and Arvind Kejriwal and his family. Number one. Number two, it's not about Arvind acting immaturely. It's about who is acting unconstitutionally. In this case, Arvind Kejriwal has all the power to act within the constitutional framework to pick the officers of his choice. I have legal opinions from 3 legal luminaries here. I have the legal opinion just now we got of 280 pages from Mr. Gopal Subramaniam. What does he say? In a democratic setup, there cannot be 2 reporting authorities, one lieutenant governor and other chief minister. You cannot have a lieutenant governor who must report to His Excellency the President, and he can start acting as an extra constitutional authority.
No, but Ashish, you're citing Rajiv Dhawan and Gopal Subramaniam. I must tell you, I spoke this morning to Harish Salve, who's in London.
Give me 30 seconds.
No, Ashish, I spoke also to Soli Suraji. Hear me out. I spoke also to Soli Suraji, who's in Mahabaleshwar. Their view is the opposite of what Rajiv Dhawan is suggesting.
Rahul, you cannot do this. You have to let me complete the point.
Okay, go on.
You cannot just go on and go on and keep asking question without giving me the answer chance to reply.
Okay, go on.
Do you want me to reply?
Go on.
Now listen to me. Article 239A clearly says, what does it say? What does the act by which the government of Delhi has been formed, what does it say? Except 3 entries, which is the entry of police, law and order and land. In all other matters, the Chief Minister of Delhi has the same powers, is on the same footing as the Chief Minister of any other state. What the Lieutenant Governor is doing here, he is entering into the domain of an elected government. You talked about, your guest talks about, tomorrow you can make lateral entries, demoralizing the morale of the civil services and so on. You are making allegations that nobody wants to work with us. The Chief Secretary who went on leave said it on record that this is for the first time he's seeing a government. He doesn't have to think twice before signing a file, because he is rest assured that there cannot be any vested interest of any minister, of the Chief Minister, of any elected representative when a proposal comes to him. This is the high opinion in which the entire bureaucracy holds this government. There are no vested interests, only public interest which guides every policy decision, big or small.
I'm going to leave it over there,
big or small.
With both sides having taken such entrenched positions.
Lose comments that Chief Minister is acting immaturely, that we are destroying the morale of the civil services, that nobody wants to come and work with us. Who told you all this?
Well, the reality is 20 bureaucrats have asked to be posted out. Others who are being asked to come to Delhi do not want to come to Delhi. I'm out of time. This is where I end this debate, gentlemen. Here's what I wish to say in the end. While there are several things you can question Arvind Kejriwal for, as the elected Chief Minister of Delhi, he has the right to pick his team. If he delivers, the voters will applaud. If he fails, his party will be voted out. But to succeed or to fail, he requires the team that he wants. And the Lieutenant Governor ought to stop interfering, ought to stop using the Constitution, allow the Chief Minister to function the way he wants. He's got the biggest mandate in Delhi's history. Give him the team that he wants. Lieutenant Governor, your actions so far are raising a lot of questions. This battle is going to the courts and we'll track it very closely. Ashish Khetan and Omesh Saigal for joining us on the newsroom this evening. Thank you very much.